For some reason lately, I've been receiving quite a few calls from people who are worried because they have rescued a dog from a shelter and this dog is showing aggression towards other dogs in the park or when out walking. And I usually get the call where people saying, I really need to socialize my dog. Please, can you help with the aggression? One of the cases was particularly sad. The lady had got this little small rescue dog and she had taken it to the park. And of course, it was going and lunging every time a dog came near it, was lunging and going for these other dogs, getting very aggressive. When she told me more about the dog, I wasn't surprised. This little dog had been in a shelter for 5 years. She then rescued this dog and brought it home. Another point about this dog was it's blind in one eye. So now, with all the good intention in the world, this woman decided that this little dog, because it had been in the shelter for so long, and poor thing, it really needed to get out and live a nice, happy life and be free, she took it to a park. Well, of course, this dog has lived in a sheltered life in a little area for 5 years, and it was blind. Would it be able to cope with other dogs in a dog park? Very much it couldn't. So here you have this dog who gets taken out straight into this park the very next day that it arrived at this lady's house, and she couldn't understand why it was so aggressive towards dogs that were coming up to it. But you know, those other dogs were just being friendly, and my dog wanted to attack them. That poor dog was terrified out of its mind. It had been taken from a small area. It couldn't see when dogs were coming near it, so of course it was going to lunge out and say, get away from me, keep away from me. This lady had every good intention in the world for this dog, but sadly it was totally the wrong thing. You cannot bring a rescue dog home and then immediately take it out to a park and assume that it's going to be social. This dog might never be social, but you're going to work together to try and find a happy balance that this dog can maybe go out and have walks and things, but not be bombarded in a large park where other dogs are racing up into its space. Another call that I've had, same situation, dog from a rescue. The new owners really want to walk it in the park, so they take it down to this large park. Dog is on a lead at first, and then they decide, well, it needs to run. It seems to have a lot of energy, it needs to run. So they let it off lead. The dog immediately starts racing around and, of course, races up to other dogs, and this time it's going up to a dog and being aggressive. So now the owners decide, well, next few times we'll put it back on the lead again. But then you have the know-it-alls in the park who start saying, oh no, they're worse on the lead, you must let it off the lead. And of course then you take the dog off the lead, it runs up to other dogs and is aggressive. And I mean really aggressive, going for them and coming back out again. So now these poor owners don't know what to do. On a lead, people tell them take it off. When it's off the lead, it races up to other dogs. This dog probably wasn't socialized when it was a young puppy, and being in a shelter, nobody really knows the background. So of course, the owners had very good intentions of taking it to a park, letting it run, get that energy out, but it was totally the wrong thing. That dog needs to learn control and maybe not even going to a park, trying something else, because the park situation is not working. And if it's not working, you cannot take your dog out to a park. It's not fair for you because the owners just get more and more stressed out. That stress goes through to the dog, and then the dog misbehaves. You've got people shouting at them. Some are telling them to take the dog off lead. Others are saying when the dog is off lead, get your dog away from my dog. These people are thoroughly stressed out. You have to work through issues with rescue dogs. You cannot just dump them in a situation and hope that everything's going to go well. These dogs need to have time to settle into not only your home, but to anything that you want to do with them. You cannot bring a rescue home straight away and then assume with the best will in the world that you're going to give it so much because it's missed so much. And by all your good intentions of putting so much into this dog, you can do a lot of damage, a lot of harm. Take your time, get the help of a behaviorist, try and work through any issues before you take a rescue dog to a park and let it free. Anything can happen, and it's not fair on your dog if it is totally stressed out and scared, and it's not good for other dogs if your dog is going to race up to them. Work hard. Many times you can get the results that you want. Your dogs can be able to be under control in a park. Other times the dogs might not even need to go to a park. There are other things that you can do with them to exercise their mind, to give them brain games or all sorts of things. But please look at your dog, look at the situation and see, are your good intentions failing your rescue dog?